Okay, let's be honest. Have you ever looked at a fraction and just your brain completely freezes up? If that's you, you've come to the right place. Today, we are going to unlock 4 super simple tricks that make fractions, believe it or not, easy.
Seriously, does this look familiar? That feeling of just getting all tangled up in the numerators and the denominators? Yeah. Let's fix that, right now.
And hey, if that is you, you are definitely not alone. It's a super common struggle. But stick with me here because we're about to turn all that confusion into some serious confidence, and all it takes is a few simple tricks.
You know, I think part of the reason fractions feel so frustrating is that you just can't escape them. They're in our recipes, on our tape measures, they're literally everywhere. But that frustration, it ends today. You really don't have to hate them anymore.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to cover 4 key things. First, simplifying fractions to make them way less intimidating. Then, a great shortcut for adding and subtracting. After that, the surprisingly easy way to multiply. And finally, that famous flip trick for division.
All right, let's just dive right in. Time to reveal the 4 tricks for your brand new math toolkit.
Okay, first up, simplifying. All this really means is making the numbers in the fraction smaller and just easier to work with. The whole trick is finding the biggest number that divides evenly into both the top and the bottom, and then you just divide them both by it. Trust me, if you master this one, everything else gets so much easier.
So why even bother doing this? Well, the pros are huge. You get way faster calculations, and there's a much smaller chance of making a mistake. The only catch, and it's a big one, is you have to find the greatest common divisor, the biggest number that goes into both. So for example, with 12 over 18, just dividing by 2, that's not going to cut it. You've got to use 6 to get it all the way down.
All right, let's tackle adding and subtracting. This is where things can get, well, messy, right? Especially when those bottom numbers, the denominators, don't match. But don't you worry, there is an awesome shortcut for this.
The whole process is just 3 simple steps. First, you find the least common multiple, or LCM. All that is the smallest number that both denominators can multiply into. Step 2, you convert each fraction so they both have that new matching denominator. And finally, you just add or subtract the top numbers. Boom, done.
Okay, next up is multiplication. And listen, I'm going to make a pretty bold claim here. This is actually the easiest one of them all. Seriously.
And the number 1 trick is right here. You have to simplify before you multiply. So you look at the numbers diagonally and see if you can simplify them. This is called cross-canceling, and it is a total game changer. It keeps all the numbers small and super manageable.
And that's why it works so well. Taking this one simple step first saves you from having to wrestle with these huge, clunky numbers later on. You keep everything small right from the get-go, which, as you can imagine, dramatically cuts down on mistakes.
And now for our final trick, division. Okay, I'll admit, this one feels a little weird at first, but once you get the rule down, it's honestly just as easy as multiplication. It all comes down to one simple move, the flip. And here it is, the simple phrase you will never, ever forget. Keep, change, flip. Just burn that into your memory, because it is literally the only rule you need for dividing fractions. So let's break that down. You keep the first fraction exactly the same. Don't touch it. You change the division sign to a multiplication sign. And then you flip the second fraction completely upside down. After that, you just multiply like we learned a minute ago. Easy. So, there you have it. Those are the 4 big tricks. Now let's kind of take a step back and really look at why this smart way of doing math is just so much better. I mean, when you put these tricks side by side with the old traditional methods, the difference is just, wow, it's striking. What used to be long and complicated and so easy to mess up, it just becomes streamlined and simple. You're saving time, you're saving a ton of effort, and you're getting the right answer way more often. You know, I actually remember the moment I finally mastered these tricks myself. It seriously felt like a huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders. That feeling of dread, you know the one, when you see a whole page of fraction problems? It just vanished, and it was replaced with actual confidence. So who is this for? Who really benefits? Well, pretty much everyone. We're talking students trying to get their grades up, parents who are trying to help with homework without pulling their hair out, or really any adult who just wants to brush up on their skills. Basically, this is for anyone who has ever looked at a problem, saw a fraction, and just skipped it.
So at the end of the day, these aren't just clever little shortcuts. They are fundamentally a better way to think about fractions. They're powerful, they are simple, and most importantly, they actually work.
And the big takeaway here is this. You've got this now. You've literally gone from frustration to freedom. You now have the tools to turn something that might have been a weakness into your new math superpower.
Okay, so now that you've seen all four, I have a question for you. Which trick was your favorite? Was it that cross-canceling move in multiplication, or maybe the keep change flip for division?
I really encourage you to try these out for yourself. Seriously, grab a piece of paper right now, test them out. Then, come back here and share your experience in the comments below. Let all of us know which one was the real game changer for you. Thanks so much for watching.